Good morning, students. Welcome to the class on polymers. We were discussing coordination polymerization. We will discuss two more examples for coordination polymerization. For more details on polymers, uh, as far as organic chemistry part is concerned, please read P.Y. Bruce book. Natural rubber is a polymer of 2-methyl 1,3 butadiene, whose common name is isoprene. Its common name is isoprene. Generally, a polymer, a rubber molecule will contain 5,000 isoprene units. This is 1,2-methyl 1,3 butadiene or isoprene. When we do coordination polymerization, this will generate natural rubber. What is the structure of natural rubber? Natural rubber is a cis-tactic polymer. Natural rubber is a cis-tactic polymer. When we try to write the cis-tactic polymer, there is a simple shortcut. Just write the monomers. Just write the monomers. Then what we will do, there is a bond formation on this side as well as this side. Out of the two double bonds, one double bond is polarized and the other double bond is used for bond making. So we have a double bond here, and look at the configuration of double bond. All double bonds are cis in nature, cis configuration, and there is a bonding between two monomers. Look at the monomer. One simple monomer is this one. This is called cis because it is all cis-tactic. Cis poly 2-methyl 1,3 butadiene. This molecule is called as natural rubber. Natural rubber. Here, all the double bonds are cis-tactic, so it is a cis-tactic polymer. Natural rubber is a cis-tactic polymer. Generally, this monomer unit, in the nature, this monomer unit is obtained from mevalonic acid. In the plants, mevalonic acid is the biological precursor of this monomer. Okay, so mevalonic acid will be converted to natural rubber. When this isoprene molecule polymerizes with the trans-tactic nature, then its configuration will be like this. After double bond, two saturated carbons, then again there is a double bond. Look at the monomer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 carbons. This is the monomer. Here all the double bonds are trans in nature. All the double bonds are trans in nature. So this polymer is called as a trans-tactic. Trans-tactic. Its a stereochemistry is a trans-tactic. Now, this is called as gutta percha. This molecule is called as, this polymer is called as gutta percha. Gutta percha. As we know, cis-tactic polymer is elastic in nature, whereas trans-tactic polymer is very hard and brittle in nature. Cis-tactic is elastic in nature, trans-tactic is hard and brittle in nature. The beauty of coordination polymerization is the synthesis of conducting polymers. So far, we used to think that polymer is nothing but non-conductive material, right? So whenever we try to touch electric wires, people used to suggest us uh, wear chappal, rubber chappal, and then do whatever we want. The principle is that they are mostly non-conducting. So the full circle of electrical conduction will be stopped. But in fact, we also have conducting polymers. Conducting polymers is a very big research area which finds novel applications in batteries, lightweight batteries, and then smart display systems where we can use all these conducting polymers. Instead of metals, if we use polymers, then instrument will come at a very, very low weight, right? So coordination polymerization is used to synthesize conducting polymers. How do we synthesize conducting polymers? We have seen synthesis of polymerization of alkenes. When we do polymerization of alkynes, this is acetylene. When we do Ziegler-Natta catalysis, then what we will get? We will get a polymer of this kind. Just write monomers side by side. Then as usual, what will happen? There will be bond formation this side and this side. One of the double bond, pi bond, one of the pi bond is used for bond making. The other two double bonds, they will be intact. Now look at this molecule. This is polyacetylene. Polyacetylene is a conjugated system. What is polyacetylene? It is a conjugated molecule. Because it is having conjugation, then electrons can be easily transferred from this center to this, from here to here. All this is possible because of the conjugation. So when we have conjugation in a polymer, then that polymer acts as a conducting polymer. Conducting polymer. So Ziegler-Natta catalysis was very useful in synthesis of conducting polymers. We have kinetics for polymerization reactions. I'll discuss kinetics for addition polymerization reactions, and you are supposed to write the kinetics of condensation polymerization. Please take the notes along with me. Consider a catalytic polymerization reaction. For a monomer, capital M. For example, we can take some monomer. We can use either a radical polymerization reaction or a cation polymerization reaction or a anionic polymerization reaction. We can use any one of them. I'll go for a radical polymerization. In principle, there is no difference between these three polymerization reactions. In a chain initiation, the initiator, which is represented by I, the initiator I molecule yields, that means it generates a free radical. It generates a free radical or radical. The rate constant for this reaction is K1. You know, in some books they used to write ki. Ki means initiation step. Ki means initiation step. So this is the general reaction for the initiator. Then what happens? This initiator radical, R radical, will react with the monomer and it generates monomer radical. Monomer radical. This also we will consider as R radical, because here the number of initiator radicals generated will be equal to the number of monomer radicals generated, right? So if one initiator radical is generated, that will generate only one monomer radical. So the concentration of radical initiators or monomer radicals are same. So you can take R radical for this monomer radical concentration also. Therefore, the rate of production of the free radical, the rate of production of the free radical is R is equal to, here we will use some constant, rate constant K1 for the first step, K1 into I, where I is the concentration of initiator. I is the concentration of initiator. In a chain propagation reaction, generally the monomer radical generated in the initial step will now add to another monomer. Here we are taking an example of a substituted alkene. So this monomer radical adds to another monomer radical. So the chain length will increase and a new free radical is generated. For example, if the rate constant is K2, K, here we have used it. Here it is K2. Some books they used to represent Kp. Kp, what is Kp? Kp means rate constant for propagation step. I'll write one more step and then we will take the kinetics. This is the new free radical generated and this will add to another monomer. The rate constant is again K2 only. So this generates a new radical with large size. This is the new radical. Now this process will continue many times. So that is why it is called as a chain propagation step. Now the rate of here, what we need to take is the rate of disappearance of monomer radical, monomer, it is not radical, it is monomer. The rate of disappearance of monomer is given by because it is disappearance, so we will take minus sign. Rate of disappearance of monomer is equal to some rate constant, here it is K2, and then R radical and then monomer. So what we are having here, we are taking some R radical and then monomer. The rate of disappearance of monomer is given like this. Generally, for many radical polymerization reactions, the rate constant for propagation step will be between 10 power 2 to 10 power 4 liter per mole per second. And here, look at this, the rate depends on two terms, radical concentration as well as monomer concentration. Therefore, these chain propagating steps are second order with in second order in nature. So these propagating sites are second order. That means two molecules are involved in rate determining step, and they are very, very rapid in nature. Generally, chain termination in a free radical reaction will occur by the combination of two radical chains. For example, if this is one chain and this is second chain, then they will combine. I'm not writing the complete structure. They will combine, they will make a new bond, and then the radical will be quenched. So it is a dead polymer. Now the rate constant for this reaction is K3. Generally, in many books, they used to represent it as KT, rate constant for termination step. Rate constant for a radical polymerization, rate constant for a termination step in a radical polymerization reaction will be around 10 power 6 to 10 power 8 liter per mole per second. Now, when we look at the rate of termination reaction, then R is equal to some rate constant K3 into what is the, it is nothing but a radical. There are two radicals, so we will take square. We will take square. We know this is a rate of disappearance of radicals, rate of disappearance of radicals. Initiation step is rate of formation of radicals. So apply steady state approximation to radicals. When we apply steady state approximation to radicals, what is steady state approximation? The overall change in the concentration of any intermediate is 0. That means rate of production is equal to rate of decomposition. What is rate of production? Initiation step. So K1 into I. What is rate of decomposition? Termination step. K3 into R radical whole square. Or from this we can get the concentration of radical. K1 make this side K3 into I whole power of, because it is a square. So this is equation 3. Now from the therefore from equations 2 and 3, we can write minus d by dt of m. What is equation 2? It is disappearance of monomers. K2 into R radical concentration, that is K1 by K3 whole power of I power half, then monomer. So overall, these are all constants. We can go for a new constant K into I power half into monomer. So this is the overall rate of the reaction. Overall rate of the reaction. K is equal to I power half into monomer concentration. So from this we can also define chain length. What is chain length? Chain length is nothing but overall rate of the reaction by rate of initiation. Rate of initiation. It is defined as a chain length. So that means minus d by dt of m by rate of initiation. Rate of initiation. So k into I power half into monomer by what is initiation? K1 into I, or we can say some constant k into monomer concentration by I power half. So this is the formula for chain length in a radical polymerization reaction. Now we can also write this k value very clearly. Here what is k? K2 k1 by k3 whole power half. So when we write it, it becomes k2 by k1 k3 whole power half monomer radical concentration by I power half. This is the kinetics of chain growth polymerization.